What's living in your car like? Well, it's freeing, less stress, fun, and it also has its downsides. It's primitive. You don't have climate control. Sometimes you struggle with a place to park. And the worst part about living in a car is when you get sick. However, like I've often shared, the flexibility to go to a hotel or to rent a short-term rental is always your safe haven. I've really never done that in my 3 years living in my car, but just the overall control of your life, the getting out of the system. Getting out of the system. That's what I really like. The system is based on debt. The system is based on once you start to acquire too many things, those things own you, and you have to work to maintain and keep those things. My life is centered around self-care. The only thing I really have to keep and maintain is myself. Now, with that being said, I still have bills. I have car insurance. You have gas, maintenance, food. Believe it or not, food is my biggest monthly expense. I have no debt. This year I just paid off all my debt. So I want to talk about two things in this video: car living and living off minimum wage. So if you were at the bottom tier as far as financially in life and you wanted to live in your car to take more control over your life, but you're starting from the bottom, which I've worked minimum wage before. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're going to work at Walmart or you're going to DoorDash or Instacart. DoorDash or Instacart, for people living in their car, I think is a great thing. You work on your terms. You log off, log on when you want. There's no boss to answer to. You have to have some social skills to interact with the restaurant and the customer. And you have to be able to use a phone and drive properly. But if you were living off DoorDash, Instacart, or a minimum wage job at Walmart or wherever, because pretty much anywhere, even times like now as I make this, we're in a pandemic, 30 million Americans laid off. But for the most part, if you went to Walmart tomorrow and you could pass a drug test, you could get a job. If you have a driver's license and car insurance, you can DoorDash or Instacart. So could you live off minimum wage? Well, minimum wage in America, believe it or not, the federal and the state minimum wage levels are different. But let's just say the average minimum wage in America is $10 per hour. Now, it's below that in some states, but on average, let's just say, if you're in a decent area, you're going to get about $10 an hour. Okay. So if you worked 40 hours a week, and I think that's key. I think a lot of people that struggle a little bit mentally or just very to themselves, introverts or whatever, sometimes they may not want to work as many hours. And that's why they struggle financially. And that's why they want to live in their car, because they don't want to put money. I'll just say this: you'll have to figure out life for yourself. But if you don't work, your dreams don't work. Okay? Because even if you become a billionaire, you still have to kind of push yourself to wake up on time, to exercise, to just keep a healthy routine. A healthy routine is at the center of a good life. And if you sleep late, go to sleep late, if you wake up late and go to sleep late and don't do much throughout the day, your mental health is going to be a disaster. Your physical health is going to be a disaster. And you're going to suffer through life. Guys, I don't want to suffer through life. I realize that life could be crap. Okay, so I don't try to give you some false sermon. But I try to live my best life. And your best life is going to require you do some work. Even if it's DoorDash, Instacart, or Walmart. But let's just say, you can play with the numbers however you want. But let's say you're living in your car. You don't have a landlord. You don't have basically much cleaning, much maintenance. You're living free, and that's why I like it. And you could focus more of your time, your energy, living where you want, doing what you want. However, for your dream to work, you must work. So you say, well, I want to work a basic minimum wage job. Now, this equation only works if you're single with no kids, no pets. Okay, if you add pets, children, or other people, this equation does not work. That's key. The single person with no obligations has many, many more options. It's true. Doesn't mean that you can't have hope, because if you're In a relationship with someone, you have a kid, if you get a fully self-contained RV and both people are willing to work, you can make it work. You'll have to adjust your equation. But let's just say you're single with no kids, you're living in your car. And let's say you're going to make minimum wage. And let's just say that's going to be $10 an hour. And let's say you're willing to work 40 hours a week. 10 times 40, okay, is $400. Pre-tax, pre-expense. However, just remember, when you make below $20,000 a year in America, your tax rate is basically nothing. So don't worry too much about taxes. So you make $400 a week. Per month, that's $1,600. And last year I did DoorDash in South Florida. And if you go to a populated suburb or definitely a city, you could easily make $2,000 a month. Pre-tax, pre-expense. In DoorDash or Instacart, if you make $2,000 per month, deduct 30% of that towards your gas, fuel, wear and tear on your car, etc. So you end up, whatever. You'll probably end up around $1,500 or so. But let's just say, you worked a standard job and you make $1,600, pre-tax, pre-everything. Let's just say we'll take a couple $100 out for tax. You end up around $1,400. Could a single person living in their car live off $1,400 a month? With no debt, yes. However, you have to really control your food cost. Food cost is number one if you have no debt. Obviously, you're going to have car insurance, cell phone bill, maintenance, and you're always going to have unexpected things that you need to purchase. Just the way life is. Don't forget, toothpaste, detergent, you still have money to spend. Now, health insurance is your biggest problem in America, okay? Number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical bills. And if you're working a minimum wage job, DoorDash or Instacart definitely, and even Walmart, you're not getting health care. And even if you're young and healthy, if you step out of your car and you break your leg, that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for surgery and everything else, depending on how bad you break your leg, if you get a stroke, and it could destroy you. Now, a lot of people are willing to take that chance. If you go deep enough in debt with medical bills, you can claim bankruptcy. So that's an option, just not to get medical coverage. You can pay for your own medical coverage. I have done that in my life. That can range, depends on your pre-existing conditions. Thank God that's now covered. That wasn't always. Depending on your health history, your age, and everything else, that'll range anywhere from, let's just say on average, $300 per month to $700 per month. A lot of factors in that. But let's just say you're at the bottom, $300 per month. That's a big chunk out of $1,400. Okay? And so you're basically going to live then under, $1,200 a month. Right around $1,000 per month. And that's right around the poverty line. So you could live as a single person with no debt in your car and survive as long as you're willing to work minimum wage. And, you would survive. And you would be able to do some things that are fun. Now, you wouldn't be able to raise a family. You wouldn't be able to have a lot of luxuries. You definitely have to be conscious of your spending. Food costs number one. Again, you can adjust that equation if you wanted to add people to your life or things. And if you're willing to work, you can move up. You really can't move up in Instacart or DoorDash. You can get more efficient and you can make closer to $20 an hour if you get good at it. You start to know the restaurants and then you're in a populated area. So you can, and I think that's true. And I've done it, and I did it just to test to see if I had to start always know your options, always have your options. So look, I think there's many opportunities. In America, I know some people watch me from the UK, from India, from Canada. Adjust everything to your area of life. But if you look, and if you're willing to put some thought, sacrifice, and effort into your life, you can make the most basic life enjoyable. I enjoy it. Look, I've had a nice condo in a gated community with a beautiful luxury leather sofa, big screen TV, and I enjoyed those seasons of my life. It pushed me to work harder and build my career. But at this point, at middle age, I'll be 40 this year, I like the simple life. I like less stress. I like to know that even if worst case scenario, as long as you, God willing, keep your health, you can survive without being on the hook to too many people. Now, with your insurances, with your health insurance, that's something you got to really consider, and also consider disability insurance and everything else, because, that's the one factor that if you get hurt and you're living on the road, you're more vulnerable, okay? Because if you get hurt or really sick, you can't live in your car. You're going to need a climate-controlled, stable environment. You can jump into a short-term rental, but that's a lot of stress on you in an emergency situation to find a place, to live in a place. You can go into a hotel, but they can get expensive over time. So just have some exit strategy always in your mind. Get your savings account going, your 12-month emergency fund. That means if, $10,000, I think $10,000, okay? Bare minimum. Now start with $1,000, but then go up to $10,000. I think that's a lot of money, guys, a lot. But that's your goal, okay? Because I think if you get to a point where you're living in your car, you've paid off your debt, you have $10,000 in a savings account, okay? You have a lot of options in life, a lot of peace. It's like as soon as I say that, no debt, a good savings account, your health, and you're living in your car, you got no possessions, I think I like the yoga emoji, where the person's just sitting there in utopia. I like peace. I like less stress. Look, guys, some people look at you like a bum. Hey, but most people live in paycheck to paycheck. They're looking to get a divorce. They're angry. They're bitter. And some people say, you know what? Even though I'm angry right now and I'm upset, I appreciate your way of life, your simple way of life, because even though I'm retired on Social Security, I don't want to live in this house. I want to be free. So there's a lot of people are going to look down on you, and some people are going to appreciate the shit out of you just living a simple life. And what I could tell you is I sit here this morning, I make this video for you, I drink $1 coffee from McDonald's. I don't have to worry about a coffee machine, a filter, coffee grinds, electrical bill. I'm sitting here free as a bird, damn it, and I like it. I do like it. Now, sometimes I get frustrated with it, and I may buy a home base, I may buy a fully self-contained RV. Because I am looking to incrementally add some comfort, especially when it comes to extreme weather. Extreme heat and extreme cold, that's when living in your car is not worth it, because you can get sick and it's uncomfortable. And that's what I'm looking to improve. You could still run an extension cord out of your car to a campsite electrical outlet and get heating or cooling, but it's a little bit wild. But hopefully this video, this ramble a little bit inspired you. It helped you. If it did, I appreciate it if you click that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not. Live like a free bird. Check out my playlist. I got a whole playlist talking about this stuff on my Nomad Simple Living playlist. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and love. Cheers.